Join Tarcia on this journey to discover the rest. Go.
Welcome to the Adoption Journey podcast. I am your host, Tarcia Smith, and welcome back to another journey. We have a super special guest in the house today. I'm so excited to introduce you to Cass. Hi, Cass.
Hey, how you doing today?
Good. So let the people know, first and foremost, tell the people what's so uniquely special about you.
I think what's unique about me is the adversity I've had to face all going through Haiti and America.
Okay, so let's start in Haiti. So do you have any memories of Haiti?
Some are a little bit foggy, and then some I still remember a little.
Okay. How old were you when you left Haiti?
I was about 6 years old.
Little boy. Do you remember how you left or why you left?
I left because I was adopted by a white family in Ohio, the Master Apollo family, and how I left was I flew from Haiti to Miami and then flew to Ohio.
Do you have any memories of your birth mother or father or siblings?
Going back to memories that I have was I didn't know my adopted, no, not my adopted family. I didn't know sorry again. All right, going back to the earliest memory of me in Haiti, I didn't know my biological family. The only one I knew was my brother. So I was born in Haiti, and somehow I was either given away or my parents just couldn't take care of me. So I ended up on the street with my brother, Emmanuel, who's older than me, and we were both eating from the trash and sleeping on trash in the street. And at the time, I had things I did not know I was dealing with, such as malnutrition, sickness, disability. Then one day I got captured in the child slavery by the human trafficker, known as the Restavec system, known as modern day slavery, which is slavery today.
At 6, because you were
At
already
about 3 years old. This was before my adoption. Yeah.
So you and your brother were on the streets when you were like 3?
Yeah, I was about 2 years old at the time.
Wow. Okay. So you're too small to have a memory of that, but you know that it happened. Oof. Okay. So when you got adopted, is that when you began to know about, because you mentioned your disability, is that when you started to learn about that, or did you already know?
So after the missionary rescued me from child slavery, I was put in an orphanage, and even at the time I was in the orphanage, I didn't know all about it. And then a family wanted to adopt me from Ohio, and about December 29th of 2005, at about 6 years old, I arrived in Miami. That's where my adopted family picked me up, and they were trying to have a conversation with me, but I was not really responding. Looked at them because I had no clue what was going on. That's when I found out, I needed hearing aids, speech therapy, and I had a learning disability, and I was behind a lot of kids my age in education.
Were you able to even speak English at the time?
I did not know any English because my first language was Creole, Upale Creole.
Yes. So not only do you not speak English, so there's a language barrier.
Yeah.
And you're not hearing well. and there's a learning disability. There's a whole lot going on.
Yeah.
So when you get to Ohio, which is very different from Haiti.
It was very different. I mean, America was just different from Haiti in general because first time I met my parents in Miami, I went to the bathroom in a planter. I peed in a planter because I didn't know how to use the bathroom. I just pretty much went to the bathroom anywhere I wanted to in Haiti.
That is amazing.
And the other struggle I had at the time I first met my adopted parents was sharing food because when I first got to Miami, I ate like a whole box of large pizza to myself.
Yeah, because food was scarce where you're from. You didn't know when your
Hmm.
next meal, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
I
you're like, I
missed
can
out
have
on a
all
lot.
this pizza?
What's up?
You said I can have all this pizza and you ate all the pizza. Okay, okay. So you're 6 years old, you're adopted, you're in a new country, don't speak the language, and then you have these learning disabilities.
Hmm.
Let me ask you this. When you saw your parents, was that the first time you ever saw white people?
Yes, that was the first time. Well, actually, no, that was not the first time because we would get like visitors in the orphanage that were white people. So that wasn't the first time, but that was the first time I saw more white people than ever because in Haiti, it was just mostly black people.
Do you remember how you felt being on the airplane and getting to Miami and then getting into Ohio? Do you remember any of that? Was that scary for you?
I think how I felt was flying to Ohio, going from the heat to the cold, that was not my favorite thing. I thought the snow was going to kill me, and the change of the air made me feel uncomfortable.
The snow was going to kill you.
Mhm.
Wow. Wow. Because you had never seen snow.
Yes, I've never seen snow before. It was my first time seeing it.
So, talk to me about what it was like. How did your parents, okay, how did your parents deal with, okay, let me ask this. Did your parents have other children?
Yes, my parents have two daughters of their own. They're about 10 years older than I am. So, yeah.
Okay, so they have their own children.
Hmm.
How, from what you remember, how did they adapt to taking care of a little black boy?
My parents have always loved me as one of their own, and they've always supported me through good and bad situations. And I think that's what helped me become the person I am today and being able to share my story. And my two older sisters, they always joke that the first day they met me was their favorite moment to have a brother, but then other days they like to joke about that. But they've all been very supportive to me through it all.
So, did they know how to take care of your hair?
That's where that's where there was a little bit of struggle. Mom did a little bit of cutting my hair, but then we had to go to an actual barber, an actual black barber. You know, even though even though they didn't have the same skin color, like I said, or my blood, they respected me. That's where they told me, "Hey, we want you to learn about learn English and learn about the American culture, but we still want you to keep your Haitian culture, embrace um, embrace your community and enjoy it. We're not going to take that away from you."
I love that. What did they do to help you continue to embrace your Haitian culture?
What they did was, even though I went to an all white school, they put me in camps and many other activities that involved different diversity. They encouraged me to keep learning and got me a book that was Creole, and they encouraged me to think outside the box, not just in just a little community full of white people.
Yeah. So you continue to learn Creole and learn English at the same time?
Yeah,
That's amazing.
but I would say this is more on me. I didn't take Creole as serious, growing up, because I got so used to learning English that that's all I was really speaking. But I still take the time to learn a little bit today.
Okay. Okay. So talk to me a little bit about your disability and how that came about and how you dealt with that.
That came about. So one of them is being hard of hearing. When my parents found out, they were calling my name one day, and I didn't hear them. And that also goes back to the time where they were trying to have a conversation with me, and I wasn't responding. And then one day when I was in school, I think like teachers noticed I was behind, and I was frustrated. Other people were frustrated, and that's where the school did a test, hearing test, and thought I failed because of the headphone. But then they thought I wasn't paying attention. But then I went to an actual hearing doctor where they were testing my hearing many times, and they found out that I am hard of hearing.
And so now you wear a hearing aid?
Yes, I do have hearing aids. I wore it from elementary all the way till my freshman year of college. But then once I got to once I got to Gallaudet University, the coaches and the staffs all said, everyone communicates in sign language mostly, and it's your decision if you really want it, but not too many people talk. So I just said I'm gonna take them
Yeah,
out
hold
and
on.
just.
We're gonna get to that journey to the
Mhm.
university. Hold
So,
on. Yeah, we're gonna get there because that's amazing. Walk me through now you're growing up, now you're aware of your disability, and now they know what accommodations you need and
mhm.
how to help you along. Do things get better for you then when it comes to learning the language and hearing and speaking? Do things get easier for you? Are you more comfortable now?
I would say I made improvement little by little, but I still was struggling with food because one night I decided to sneak out of my room, and we had these blocks of cheese, and I thought it was the best thing ever. I ate the whole block. Next day, couldn't go to the bathroom.
Okay, so you have this thing where you need to hoard food,
Mhm. Yes, I
food,
was.
cheese in
I
particular.
was. Yeah, I was very selfish with food. I would eat a lot. My dad and my mom would say, "There's enough food. You don't need to rush or, take the whole entire food. Just enjoy it."
Yeah, but you were coming from a life of you didn't know when your next
Yeah.
meal would be.
Yes, they were just teaching me manners.
Sure. So how long did that last? When did you finally say, okay, there really is enough food?
I think the time that I couldn't go to the bathroom taught me a lesson. I also think, the time that I was like just filling myself up, thinking I wasn't full, taught me a lesson too.
Hmm.
We would go to restaurants, and there was all you can eat, and my dad would say, "Don't load up your plate yet. I mean, we're happy to feed you, but don't load up your plate." And
Right.
I'd just give him the side look, and I'd be like, "No, I'm saying, Dad, I'm full." And he said, "I told you."
Uh, th- that is that is something interesting to think about.
Then
Food, things that
right,
we take for granted. You were
and
like,
then since since I was taught how to steal in Haiti and many other things that would be like really bad here in America, there were times where I would steal people's food or try to like, you know, manipulate them into giving me food,
You stealing food from?
Just like my friends, But this was all when I was little though.
Yeah, because you still think that there's not enough food.
It's cause in when I was in Haiti, I didn't know any better. I thought this was the life. I I just thought, hey, I can live the same way I did in Haiti. Why not? And that's where I was having trouble focusing in school because I was behind so many people. And then that's where my parents said, let's get me involved in the sports and other activities to see if that would help my situation.
Okay, so I'm glad you turned that corner. I was going
Hmm.
there. So, what was your first organized sport? Was it always football or was it something else at
It
first?
was not. So when I came to America, I did a little bit of soccer. Then I went to baseball, did a little bit of wrestling. Then I did basketball and then track and then football. Well, finally came in fifth grade.
Okay.
It was the moment where I was starting football. I had no idea what was going on again. This was with my learning disability because I learn more visually and hands on than I do from being told what to do. So I get to I get to my first game, missed a couple practices because I was sick, but then, I didn't really play much, but then at the end of the game we were tied and my dad and other coaches talked us over. Fifth grade, I get my opportunity, get in the backfield, run the ball, break through, and score the game winning touchdown. And that when it felt like a life changing moment, it felt like, hey, this is where I could really do something with life, and I don't have to live the struggles that I was living before.
In the fifth grade.
Hmm.
Now, when you made that winning touchdown, were you just running the ball or did you understand the play?
What happened? So what?
When you made that winning touchdown in football that first time, were you running the ball or did you understand the play?
I just ran the ball. I just ran the ball, and like it was nothing. Yeah, I had to get used to learning the plays, and my dad, when we got home, he would show me film, and then he would do like little hands-on activity, like with drills in the backyard, and sometimes we would watch videos too.
I love that. So now you're in the fifth grade and you go on to middle school, high school. Do
Hmm.
you play football in high school?
Yes.
So talk to me about those high school years. Are things being normal for you? Are you dating? Are you
So high school, I'm at the white school, Edison High School, named after Thomas Edison. I I know that I wanted to think outside the box because that's what my adoptive parent taught me. But I would say it was still hard communicating and I was still struggling, but I was making progress with the opportunities I had, I mean, I made some friends and then, there were people that didn't think too highly of me and, didn't like that I was thinking outside the box. And then I had coaches and teachers that doubted me. other students doubt me. But other than that, I just remain positive through it all.
Why do you think they didn't think that highly of you?
Actually, one of so we had this like ceremony with the Sean Kaiser, and this was for my story, and this was back my junior year. 500 students went to watch me, and the Sean Kaiser, the Browns quarterback at the time, was there, and most of the people really came just for his autograph and not really to hear my story. And then a couple of people came up, congratulated me, but then as I, am in high school, I go to these camps and start telling my stories. And even though at the time I didn't really know how to tell my stories, I go to these camps, and I guess some of these parents and students are frustrated because they don't want to put in the work like me and my parents do. And they always question, how does Cass get to do these things? How does Cass get to do these things? And then also, my high school coach told me I was going to flunk out of college after I graduated high school.
Really?
He told it wasn't directly toward me, but you could tell. He told my mom, boy, at the grocery store, he said something like, "Oh, I don't know if he's going to succeed, but here I am with a college degree in physical education and recreation."
Period.
I was doubted by a lot of people in the community of Berlin, Milan.
Wow. So okay, so at this point you have overcome being in the street in
Mm-hmm.
Haiti with no parental supervision, just outside. Then you go to an orphanage.
Mm-hmm.
You have a disability that you're not aware of.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just marking it all off. Then you get adopted. You don't speak the language. Not only do you have a disability, then you're behind. So you have to catch up, learn the language. Then they discover you're a good football player.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody was like, I don't know if he's going to be successful. You had already won.
Only the beginning.
That was only the beginning, and you had already won. That is incredible to me. So you go to high school. Were your eyes always set on the college that you went to? Is that where you wanted to go?
Yes, you said Gallaudet, but
Yes. Is that where you
no,
wanted to
no,
go?
actually, I didn't hear that hard of hearing moment.
It's
But
okay.
no, it was not set on Gallaudet. So as I was doing these recruiting trips and camps, I was mostly getting looked at by schools in the of the Midwest, and Gallaudet didn't come till my senior year of high school. So it was in the fall. No, it was in the summer. It was in the summer before my season started that the Gallaudet coach found me through Twitter and I guess Google search too, because he was looking for more hard of hearing players. And he messaged me. I looked at the message, and at the moment I was still going through the recruiting process, working for more opportunity. And at the time, I looked at it. I ignored the message for a couple of days. I was like not interested at the time in Gallaudet. I wanted to see, because this is where thinking outside the box comes in. I was even though it was hard with communication and always being hard of hearing. I never been around deaf people, and I didn't think that would suit me, even as a hard of hearing person.
Wait a second. That's very interesting.
Hmm.
So you were never around a community of people that had the same disability as you.
Hmm.
Wow. Not even in high school.
Yeah, so I've never met another hard of hearing person like me, and I've never met deaf person either. I was just learning about this, and then the next day I showed it to my adopted parents, and they looked at it and said, "This is a great opportunity. Let's do it."
So I know that you ASL. I know you. When did you learn that?
I learned it back in fall of 2019, my freshman year of college.
That's so interesting. Okay, here I am assuming that you had a community growing up. At some point, you were around people like yourself that that were also hard of hearing and no. So
Hmm.
you're thriving in this world of hearing and
Hmm.
speaking, and no one's. So you're learning how to read lips, which you do very
Yeah.
well.
So I learned how to read lips, and I'll just use my hearing aids, and I just paid attention to when people were talking.
That's incredible. And to know that somebody still doubted you.
Hmm.
Okay,
It'd be the
keep going.
people you
So,
know.
okay, so now your parents say this is a great opportunity.
Yes.
Are you
Because
still like,
again,
nah, because those people can't, they're all hard of hearing, and I don't know if that suits me.
yeah, they said you got the deaf community and you got people that are hard of hearing like you, and that's where they're very supportive because again, that back when they told me they want me to embrace the opportunity in my community, they said, "Hey, this is your community too, the deaf hard of hearing
Sure.
community. So you might as well take the opportunity for college." And I was still, I was still like, I don't know,
Why?
we'll see. But then
Why?
why? Because again, I feel like I was a little closed minded in that moment. I think I think I felt like, I don't know, I just think I felt like, hey, I've never received an opportunity like this before. Not too many people were like me. So,
So you decide to go
mhm,
to this college. Tell
yeah.
me what your freshman year was like.
My freshman year, it's almost like going from Haiti to America. My freshman year, it was a struggle.
Really?
Learning sign language. And when I say learning sign language, I had to like pay more attention to how people were moving, like actually look at them because it wasn't like someone was talking to me. It was, hey, you have to look at their face closely, body language, and um, just learn the expressions. And that was very tough for me to do, especially with my learning disability. It felt like I was behind all over again in a new world.
So how long did it take you to learn ASL?
So I've been doing ASL for about 6 years now, but my freshman year, I couldn't really get it down, especially with football. When it came time for football, knowing the plays in sign language was not for me. But when I heard it in voice, I knew the plays and I actually played better. But
In sign language.
yep,
That's wild.
crazy,
Something I
right?
would never even think about.
Yeah, but
Learning the plays in sign language. But you
yeah,
said that wasn't for you.
yeah. At first, because I was struggling with picking up what people were saying to me in sign language.
Okay, so here's my next question. At the school, on this football team, everyone is hard of hearing, correct?
So everyone is hard of hearing. So there's three kinds: hard of hearing, hearing, deaf. So deaf is that you can't hear anything. Hard of hearing, you're in the middle, but you're not deaf, but you also can't hear as well as hearing people. So those are the those are the three differences. So yes, the community was mostly full of deaf and hard of hearing people. There were, I would say, a few hearing people because their parents were either alumni there, they knew sign language, they are coda, or many other things related to Gallaudet.
Okay. So on your football team, you have the helmets.
Mm-hmm.
How are you communicating? How are you hearing? What does that look like?
So when we're communicating through the helmet, it's just us looking straight out of the helmet and just looking at the coach, and he'll tell us to play. Or sometimes he even gives it to the quarterback, and the quarterback will run the huddle, or any other position will substitute in and give us the play. And then here's the cool part about it. So for special team, offense, defense, whenever it's time to go, we have this big drum that vibrates, and everybody on that team feels it, but there, you know, some people that can hear it too.
It's amazing.
Hmm.
That's amazing. Is the quarterback or the coach, are they giving you the plays in sign language? Or are you reading lips? Or what does that look like?
So we have this thing where coach always says, "Hey, I want you all to be quiet and not talk, but use your hand to communicate." Usually that's at the beginning of camp. He tries to get us to sit with different kinds of people, whether you're hearing, hard of hearing, or deaf, you know, because we mostly, so what would happen was the deaf, you would usually sit with the deaf. And then
Sure.
the, the deaf and, I mean, not the deaf. So the deaf would sit together, and then the hearing and the hard of hearing people would sit together. That's not always the case, but that's usually what happens. And so for new signers that are coming in, coach would tell them, "Hey, you need this sign." But then what his coach does, because our coach is actually hearing, so he does both signing and talk.
Okay, so you go all the way through college and you're playing football.
Hmm.
What makes you decide to major in what you major? Tell everybody again what you majored in.
For physical education recreation, originally I planned on exercise science, strength and conditioning, but since we have a small college in the physical education recreation department, they put all that together. PE, strength and conditioning, sports, physical therapist, sports management, all that is all together. So what made me decide was I've always loved working out, and that goes back to fifth grade. I started working out in fifth grade, and that's how I get by my day, and that's how I enjoy my day. And I think, the opportunity that I've had to help other people and inspire people through it all has really helped me. So that's why I'm here today as a sports and fitness coach.
Something else. You're incredible. So you go through college and you become a sports and fitness coach. And to think about where you started, my God. So today, what does life look like for you today?
Life, I did end up going back to the Heat after about 18 years, 18 years in Ohio. Um, Today I've been out of college for about a year. I graduated with my bachelor degree, and now I'm using for it for sports and fitness coaching. I'm in St. Augustine, Florida, and the reason why I chose St. Augustine, Florida is because I get that opportunity of being around the deaf, hard of hearing community.
Yes, there's a school in North Florida. Is there not?
Northeast Florida. Yep,
Northeast Florida?
FSDB.
Yeah.
I worked there I worked there for about 5 months, but teaching just was not for me. Yeah, I was
Really? Why
like,
not?
just it just wasn't my passion. It was a good start for me, but it wasn't my passion. But FSDB, I did love coaching football though. That was my favorite part about it, and
Okay.
I miss it.
Okay. And I know that because I am in your neck of the woods. I'm in Orlando.
Hmm.
So I'm not far from you, just a little south. Okay. So my next question, have you gone back to Haiti?
And it's been since 2005. Yeah, December. It's been since December of 2000, December 29th of 2005 that I was last in Haiti.
And what about your brother?
My brother, he's still in Haiti. And crazy story. So back in 2011, earthquake happened in Haiti. I'm
2010. I
looking
remember it well.
for my biological brother because I still have memories of him. And I come to find out that the person is actually looking for my brother as well too. And we found out that it was my biological sister that was adopted in France.
Did you discover that?
We discovered it through Red Cross.
So are you now in contact with your brother and your sister?
Sister, a little bit occasionally. She came to visit me my sophomore year of high school.
And she's doing well?
So what's
Is
that?
she doing good?
Yeah, she's doing good too. She has a very supportive adoptive family as well.
But she's in France.
Yes, she's in France.
Okay. And you said that you don't know anything about your birth parents?
Yeah, I do not know anything about my birth parent. All I know from that time I learned about my biological sister was that they were struggling because Emmanuel told me a little bit, and then I couldn't remember, but to this day they're not.
Do you have any desire to go back to Haiti?
Right now, I would say not yet because of all the things that are happening, like gang violence and not having an actual leader. And for my safety too, I wouldn't want to go back right now, but I would like to see it again when it's safer.
Okay. Now that you're in Florida, you're a little closer.
Yeah, I'm a
What
little closer.
a
That's
little
one of the
closer.
reasons why I moved to Florida.
Well, have you been down to Miami and in Little Haiti and all
I
that?
have been to Miami. It was back when I was in college, so my parents' alma mater, Michigan, was playing in the Orange Bowl, and I went to the Orange Bowl Stadium, and that was fun.
Okay, so you have been back to Miami at
Mhm.
least. Okay. And what do you do now to stay connected to your Haitian culture as an adult?
To stay connected to my Haitian culture, now that I'm able to tell my story better, because when I was going through elementary and high school, I didn't really know how to tell my story. But I promote Haiti a lot. I would tell my story and let people know, this is life in Haiti, and not all Haiti's bad, but some parts of it are good, some parts need more help. And the other thing I would do is I still like to I still like to learn Creole. So sometimes I go on YouTube a little bit and practice my Creole. Sometimes I go on Instagram, practice my Creole too.
Okay. And do you have a Haitian community there in St. Augustine? Haitian friends?
A community of Haitian in St. Augustine. I met a couple Haitian people.
But I've been to St. Augustine, so I
St.
understand.
Augustine, yeah.
Say less, I understand. So, my final thing, if you had to say anything to anybody out here that's listening or watching, from as an adoptee that's from a different country and comes to the United States, what advice would you give them? And can you also say it in sign language?
Hi. My favorite thing is always survive and thrive. I would always tell people survive and thrive, and I don't have the shirt on today, but you're gonna get the short. I mean, not the short, the shirt from. So I don't have the shirt on me today, but you can get the shirt from online, and I'll send you that link. But survive and thrive because I would say, you've been through struggle, you made it, but just keep going. Don't let anybody in today's society tell you what you can and can't do.
That part, because you have an amazing story and you tell it very well. And you're definitely an inspiration, and not just for adoptees, just for people.
Yeah. And I'm happy to always tell my story because when I was little, from the time I was in high school, I think the other reason why I struggled telling my story was because I also had PTSD. I had a lot of trauma.
But you seem to be doing okay. Have you had therapy or counseling for your PTSD?
Yeah, I think football was my therapy,
Okay.
and working out was my therapy.
Okay. 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 So I'm absolutely honored that you came to share your story. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate that.
And hang on 1 second. Don't leave me.
That's fine.
And on that note, bye, family.
Journey on. You need a pie with the good? Oh yeah, what is the one?